Welcome to the hunt of a lifetime. For 8 long years, I've dreamed of chasing free-range red stag across the rugged landscapes of New Zealand. And today, that dream becomes a reality. But getting here wasn't easy. Our journey from Cape Town, South Africa to Auckland, New Zealand turned into an unforgettable adventure of its own.
Man, what a hell of a year it's been.
Trying to go to New Zealand, but my brother's just looks dodgy. So I don't know if they detained him. Maybe he wants to be probed. There he comes.
Man, what a hell of a year it's been. Head in a bottle, but my heart in a case. Head's getting harder to act my age. Play a sad song on a tiny violin for the man at the bar confessing his sin.
This is the not so fun part of YouTube that you guys don't always see. 14 hours left.
Let's go. But the devil will walk in my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Trying to get away from the old me. Still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. Love keeps knocking, but I just stay home.
Alrighty, we're finally through. It's quite hectic. Like if you bring camping stuff, they gotta check your things for any seeds and possible stuff that could contaminate the country. So yeah, we brought lots of camping stuff and outdoor gear, so we ticked all the boxes. My brother was very disappointed he didn't get his colon searched, but maybe on the way out.
Nobody knows what I'm going through, but the devil will walk in my shoes. Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Try to get away from the old me, still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news.
After thousands of kilometers traveled, countless hours of planning and anticipation that's built to an all-time high, we're finally here. Join us as we embark on this incredible journey to fulfill a lifelong dream, hunting one of the most majestic animals in the world, the red stag, roaming wild and free in its natural habitat. Okay guys, we are rolling out from George's place up the mountain to the cabin, so the terrain looks absolutely epic, so can't wait to get up there.
Wish someone told me living this life would be lonely. Trying to get away from the old me, still stuck singing these blues. All I really need is a little good news. All I really need is a little something bring me back to the middle. All I really need is a little good news.
We had planned our trip perfectly, arriving right at the start of the rut, also known here as the roar. On our way up to our hunting hut, witnessing these two fallow bucks battling it out was an incredible sight, and an even better omen of what's to come. Thank you. Okay, we have arrived. At the top of the mountain, George the farmer and caretaker of this unbelievable landscape, who would not only be our guide but soon become a friend, had built the most extraordinary hunting cabin, perfectly positioned to overlook the valley below. This would be our home base for the days ahead. Having just traveled halfway around the globe, we wasted no time settling in. Immediately, we broke out the glass and began scanning the valleys surrounding the cabin, carefully taking in every detail of the terrain to prepare ourselves for the days ahead. On this trip, we're not only just after a red stag, we're also after a fallow deer. So getting onto this guy in this position, perfect conditions, was an absolute cracker of a start to our hunt. He didn't tick the boxes for us, but he was cool to observe while the light faded. Okay, so first afternoon spotting, we saw 5 stags. Super promising. Very cold. Is it cold?
A little bit. Cold.
It's cold and wet, but we saw one nice stag. But it was like the camera is obviously pumping up the light a lot. It's pretty dark, and we saw him like right at the end vibes, and couldn't really get that good of a look. But yeah, it's exciting hearing them roar. Very cool. Tomorrow we're expecting some rain in the morning, I believe. But yeah, we got 4 days to make this work. Alrighty, morning one. It is windy and rainy. It's just before 6 in the morning. So the stag actually feed out at night, or the red deer rather. We saw a bunch last night, and we're gonna try and make a move this morning, but we are expecting heavy rain and winds today. So hold thumbs, baby. Wow, New Zealand showing off. Absolutely gorgeous. What? New Zealand? Guys, this is next level cool. So far no animals, but we'll get there. Proper rain coming down now. In South Africa we have a saying, when the sun's out and it's raining, it's called the jakkals trou met wolf se vrou, which is jackal marries wolf's wife, which makes no sense at all. But it's a saying nonetheless. The weather changed as predicted. Luckily, we stayed in close proximity of our hunting hut. We made our way back for a warm breakfast prepared by Andy. Thank you, Andy. You were an absolute treat. And this breakfast was a lifesaver, because by the time we got back, we were freezing. The cabin was blasted with rain for the rest of the morning. But after an afternoon nap, we headed back out and decided to try a different tactic. Diving down into the Manuka Valley revealed a world that you cannot see from the top of these hills. This was so cool, heading down into this thick stuff. This is so cool. My brother's coming through the back there. Incredible. Just forest. Everybody's falling. Well, not George. George isn't falling, he's a pro. But I fell on the rifle like 3 times. My brother's fallen on that camera a few times. So, mission continues. A few more tumbles later, and the terrain started leveling out. We had some pretty cool encounters in this forest. It's wild to see this world that exists underneath this canopy, and it was one of the coolest experiences of this whole journey. The big stags typically only present themselves early in the mornings or late in the evenings. Knowing we'd be facing some weather limitations and limited time on the ground, we had already decided we would hunt every possible opportunity we had. As I was glassing across the valley, I spotted him for the very first time, standing proud, skylined against a distant ridgeline. He was the first stag we'd seen all trip that made my heart race with excitement.
Okay, so we just spotted a nice tall stag. It's difficult to range him where he is currently. We're like setting up, just waiting. Just crazy cross canyon shot. 500 odd meters, probably between 350 and 500. We're hoping that we can ping a better range on him now. If he steps into a better spot, because he was it was hard to tell on which one of the two hills he was. Standing on this little knob, but he looks awesome.
Now you'll notice some fences in the surrounding landscape. This is a working sheep farm, and these stag are free-range stag. They're constantly hopping over these fences and moving throughout this landscape. This guy was absolutely stunning, and we were going to make a move on him.
Alright, we couldn't quite get the right range on him, so we decided to bomb down the mountain and bomb up the next mountain. He's sort of a few hundred meters behind those two trees at the top there.
By the time we got into position where we thought we'd have a shot, he was gone. Something must have spooked him. Either he smelt us, or the change in the weather pushed him back into his hiding spot. The adventure through that valley was absolutely incredible.
Look how wet everything is. Look how wet our guns are. Rainbow. We have hiked some badass terrain. And that is the icing on the cake. It's a double rainbow. Absolutely wild double rainbow. If God is not good, I rest my case.
As we were wrapping up our day, looking at the gorgeous sunset, we could hear the stags roaring. And looking back over at the hill where we had spent the day climbing out of, we literally saw a monster stag with his hinds, with absolutely no way of getting across to him, in the lighting conditions and the terrain we had to cross. This was the end of a great day of hunting. Tomorrow would be magnificent.
Good morning. Day 3, I think it is. We've been unsuccessful so far. The weather's been rough. Today looks the best it's been thus far. And have a little morning stroll and see what we can turn up with. But this valley seems busy, so let's go.
Beautiful shot.
Okay, we think we got him. He ran sort of out of sight. George saw clean front shoulder land. It sounded great. I had quite a bit of water on my optic because it was raining on the way down here, and I didn't have the best sight picture ever. Wow, what a relief. We worked fucking hard for this. Very, very hard for this. In challenging conditions. Wow. Yes, boys. Now we need to go find him. Hold thumbs that we get him, guys. We reviewed the footage. Could see him pull the shoulder up. Might have been a tad forward, shooting ELDMs. So we're gonna see, and he ran behind like a little knob, so we couldn't see him go down. But then, as that happened, a whole bunch of stags ran out the other side too. And
Well, neither of those two are a boy.
Hiking up and down these valleys over the last few days was intense. You know it's steep when a GoPro makes something look steep.
So right on the track. See how that track goes straight across the side and there's that big clump of thistles? He's lying just above that. You can only see half of him.
I haven't been able to see him yet, but I take your word for it. Okay. Now we're gonna whack a fellow deer on this side. So So we hiked up the hill and saw my deer. It's down. Yes. So relieved. Because we didn't see him go down. And then we saw a black fallow deer with some nice palms. So we haven't actually been over to my deer. Because a fellow was also on the list. So we were just being super patient now and waiting for him to step out. Yeah. Beautiful shot.
Oh, is that good spotting, sir?
Yes, broer, well done. Saved the day. George and I were convinced he's behind that tree.
Yeah. And he went down and sat in the sun.
Was that him?
That was him. 100% was him.
Crazy.
He's beautiful.
Crazy,
He's got
crazy,
some
crazy.
beautiful big front grout lines.
It was only when reviewing the footage a few weeks later that I noticed you can actually see the red deer go down after the shot lands just before he runs out of sight. In the moment We had no idea he went down, as he just went out of our line of sight. We were under so much stress while hiking through the valley to try and get to him without knowing that he had actually gone down. My sight picture was incredibly compromised with the amount of rain on my scope, but we managed to execute a perfect shot with our Hardy rifle chambered in 6.5 PRC. The emotional roller coaster you experience on a hunt like this is nearly impossible to describe to someone who hasn't lived it. But if you know that feeling, that moment when the impossible finally becomes a reality after so much effort, then you'll understand exactly why the smiles on our faces are worth more than 1 million pictures could ever capture. Before we started making our way over to my red deer, George expertly guided in Andy to help assist with the recovery.
Big look at the eye guards. Oh, wow. Big old boy. Wow. How cool is that? Beautiful. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Wow, he's super tall.
Really nice.
Oh, I'm so relieved.
Got a bit of age to it.
Yeah.
Beautiful round top. Well done.
Okay, so we got 5 tips on this side, and I don't know, you can't hang a ring on that.
No. He's definitely old.
Yeah.
You've got a mature old stag.
Wow.
It's a strange feeling when you finally accomplish a goal that you've had for so long. Hunting a free-range red stag in New Zealand has been on my bucket list and was one of the catalysts of restarting my hunting journey as an adult. I'm making this video as much for you guys as I'm making it for myself, leaving in all these little details, all these moments to remember, that I can watch back and relive this memory. So we were making our way down the valley this morning, spotted the stag on the other side of the hill, and sort of in the middle of the screen now, that's where the shot cracked from. 466 meters. He was standing over here. Unbelievable cross canyon shot. Wow, and it absolutely hammered him. There's a little bit of wind coming this way. I did favor a little bit for wind, but to be honest, my sight picture was quite compromised due to the rain and the stuff that was on the lens. So we watched the footage back and I thought the shot hit just front shoulder, which it did. He ran down right there. Luckily we were able to access this area now with the side-by-side. The boys are working on him there where we took some photos. Absolutely unbelievable. New Zealand, you guys rock. Your country is stunning, and what an absolute honor to have hunted here. Okay, George, we got it done after 3 days of hectic hunting. Yeah,
Absolutely, we've had to work for it.
yeah.
We've covered some ground.
We have been saying this whole trip what an unbelievable landscape you have on your property here. Again, guys, these stags are completely wild. They are jumping sheep fences and they're on the property because they want to be here. And this morning when we saw him across the valley, you actually spotted him. Yeah. He was set up perfect, 466 meters across the valley. Shot landed a little bit in front of his shoulder, so because there was a little bit of wind.
Yep.
But I mean, this is no kestrels, nothing. We're just winging it. And George saw the shot land with the binos.
Yep.
We reviewed the footage. I thought it was a little bit forward, but I was confident that it was like straight through the heart because their hearts sit quite low. And walking up on him, you spotted him here, and I was so relieved.
Yeah.
It was
He would have maybe 15 meters stumbled down the hill.
And that's
to
just
where he
gravity, basically, yeah. And George picked him out, and just when he said the words "deer down," like just like the sigh of relief was unbelievable. We stayed in the mountain cabin here for the last few nights. It was awesome listening to everybody snoring. I think George is due some proper sleep. But thank you
You're
so
welcome.
freaking
Congratulations.
much. Unbelievably epic. This has been a lifetime. Ever since I started hunting, this is the animal, and this is exactly how I wanted to hunt him. So I really appreciate you giving us that opportunity.
Perfect.
Should we go recover the fallow too?
Absolutely. Let's do it. He's not going. Well done.
Don't break the window.
Send a photo to Alex.
Yeah, I did.
Dude, he's massive.
This is where he was bedded down.
Yeah, beautiful.
Perfect. Wow, he's dark. Got nice palms. Nice big flat signs.
Well done.
Wow. Yeah, these are freaking awesome.
Yeah. The strays are wide. Huge picnic. Well done. Congratulations.
So blessed. Okay, fallow deer recovered. Awesome shot. Another little cross valley shot. And this is something we were envisioning the whole time. I was saying to my brother, like, in my mind, it's like, even on the plane here, it was like cross valley shots is going to be epic if it plays out that way. And boy, did it play out that way. Super, super stoked with this fallow.